Thanks for watching. I'm Margot Kinberg, and this is In the Spotlight, a closer look at a crime novel. Scandinavian noir has been popular for quite a while now, and it takes many different forms, from almost light fiction to the bleakest, darkest of noir. Let's take a look at one such novel today and turn the spotlight on Dahl's The Fourth Man. Oslo police detective Frank Frölich is taking part in a police raid. The area is supposed to be closed off, but he sees a woman named Elisabeth Faremo going into a shop. He follows her in to protect her and barely saves her from being killed in a shootout. It's a dramatic start to what becomes a relationship between the two. Within a short time, Frölich becomes obsessed with Elisabeth, and she doesn't discourage him. Then he learns that she is the sister of Johnny Faremo, a member of a gang that's wanted for robbery. It makes things awkward, but Frölich is in love with Elisabeth. Everything changes one night when news comes that a security guard has been murdered and that Johnny's gang is responsible. Elisabeth gives the gang an alibi, saying that she was with Frölich on the night of the murder and then met up with Johnny and the others later. With that alibi and with no direct evidence, the gang can't really be held on charges. Frölich is smart enough to know that he could very well have been used. He's in love with Elisabeth, though. Besides, it is possible that someone else could have committed the murder. Frölich starts to look further into the case, but soon finds that someone very much doesn't want him to get to the truth. First, Johnny drowns. Then Elisabeth's former lover, or is it former, is found dead of what looks like suicide. Frölich himself is threatened too, and more than once has to escape danger. He's in danger at work too. There are several people, including his boss, who feel he shouldn't be investigating a case in which he has such personal interest. There are even those who wonder whether he might have had something to do with the crimes. If he's going to save himself in his job, Frölich will have to find out the truth, and that will lead him to a past case. So, what ties this story together? What elements do we see woven through it? Well, this is a thriller, so there are narrow escapes and several people who aren't what they seem to be. There's also suspense as Frölich works to save his job and to find out the truth about the woman he loves. There are twists in this story, too, that keep the pace going. That said, there is also narrative description that lends a sense of place to the novel. There's also the character of Elisabeth. She is, as you can guess, enigmatic in many ways. She's a femme fatale in some ways, and Frölich finds it almost impossible to resist her. It's hard to know how much of what she says is true and how much isn't. In fact, Frölich's boss believes that she's lying about everything and manipulating Frölich in order to keep herself and her gang friends out of prison. But she could be telling the truth. And Frölich and his boss are good enough cops that they want to know what really happened and stop the people who are really responsible. There's also, as I said, an element of noir in the story. Readers do find out the truth in the end, but that doesn't make anything all right. Not all things are neatly tied up at the end either, and readers who prefer novels where, as you might say, order is restored, will notice this. For some of the characters, there's a sense of loss, there's a sense of hopelessness. It's not a main point in the novel, but it's there. Still, the main questions about the deaths in the novels are answered. The story takes place during winter in Oslo, and there's a very strong sense of setting in the novel. Dahl uses both physical landmarks and narrative description to place the reader in Oslo. The Fourth Man explores how obsession can impact a person. It features a distinctive Oslo setting, a complex web of crimes leading to the past, and a detective who's pulled into a situation that may spell the end for him. This has been In the Spotlight. I'm Margot Kinberg. Thanks for watching.